This week, the Tour heads west to TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas, Nevada for the Shriners Children's Open. Tom King is defending his title, and LPGA player Lexi Thompson is set to become the 7th woman to compete on the PGA Tour. Lexi was given a sponsor's exemption into the tournament and will become the first woman to play a Tour event since Brittany Lincecum missed the cut at the 2018 Barbasol Championship. Thompson's coming off a solo 5th finish last week on the LPGA Tour at the Ascendant LPGA benefiting Volunteers of America. And she joins a notable list of women who have competed on the PGA Tour, headed by Michelle Wie West, who did it 8 times. The great Babe Didrikson-Saharius did it 7 times and is the best finish by any woman on the PGA Tour, 33rd in Phoenix back in 1945. But a lot of Hall of Fame names there. Damon, Annika Sorenstam, Shirley Spork. I mean, what do you think? In terms of, let's put it in the historical context first. What's the value or meaning of Lexi Thompson playing this week in Vegas?
I think it's significant. I hope she embraces it, that she's playful, enjoys it, because I think there was a time when there would be more pushback against a woman playing on the PGA Tour, and it's not that long ago. You go back to 2003, for example, when Annika Sorenstam competed against the men at Colonial. Vijay Singh was very, very vociferous against it. He told the Associated Press at the time, I hope she misses the cut. Why? Because she doesn't belong out here. If I'm drawn with her, which I won't be, I won't play. Vijay later tried to clarify, saying, well, I want her to miss the cut because I don't want to finish behind her, tried to clean it up, but the damage was done. I feel like in this era, we're more used to this. We saw Michelle Wie do this several times. Babe Didrikson-Saharius did it. Susie Whaley did it here outside of our offices in Cromwell, Connecticut. So this is not something new, but I do think that the tenor, the tone, much more positive than we even had 20 years ago.
Does it matter how she plays in that historical context then?
I don't think it matters how she plays as much as it matters how she embraces it. There'll be some eyeballs, and I'm sure there's some quiet critics that are wondering how she's going to do. She has not played very well on the LPGA Tour over the past couple of seasons. No victories, though she has played very well of late, a couple of top 10s in her last starts on the LPGA, 3-1 at the Solheim Cup. But I'm sure there are some old school folks that maybe don't want to see her out there. I think it's more about the smile, embracing it, poking fun. You'll remember Annika Sorenstam. She missed the cut as well, but it was hailed as a victory because she was self-deprecating. She was approachable. She had this moment here on her opening tee shot where she grabs the tee, she got a, oh my goodness, a little exhale there, had some fun with it, and it became a story that we embraced because this was one of the great champions who just wanted to measure herself against the men, learn where she needed to improve from a competitive standpoint. And she went on to, of course, win, 8, 9 times in 2004, had a fantastic 04, 05, 06, in large part, she says, because she tested herself against the men in 2003 at Colonial. I hope Lexi takes that same spirit this week.
I think you're right about the tenor changing on all of this stuff as well, and it's not as though the reaction to it is necessarily critical, but it is acknowledging a reality here. And Peter Malnati is on the PGA Tour's board. He was asked about this last week, and here's what Peter had to say.
Obviously, I know that Lexi at times has been one of the top players on the LPGA Tour, and she's obviously very athletic. Distance won't be a problem. She'll hit it far enough. You know, my gut reaction when I saw that was like, the tournament kind of reaching to try to drum up interest, and I think I understand that if that is the case. I don't think we're going to need to resort to gimmicks to drum up interest. And I shouldn't have said that. I don't know that having Lexi play is a gimmick. But I don't think the tournaments are going to have to go to those kind of lengths to drum up interest and get storylines that they can sell. Because I think these events are actually going to have a lot of meaning. And I think, I like I said, change is hard for everyone at every level. So I assume, if you're a host organization of a tournament, if you're the Century Club here in Jackson, if you're Wayne Sanderson Farms, you just don't know right now for sure what you have anymore because, the fall is completely reimagined. I'm pretty sure that the fall is going to be a blockbuster hit. I think it's going to be very successful. But these tournaments, they don't know yet. And so having Lexi play certainly will get a lot of headlines. And, if that's the goal for Shriners and the host organization in Vegas there, that's great. And, she's a professional athlete. She's accomplished a lot. Like, it's not like you know, I mean, who knows what'll happen? She may go play really well, and it may be huge. She may play absolutely terrible and, you know, finish 132nd. Either way, like, she's a professional golfer. She has a spot in the field. The tournament's, you know, if it gets them the attention that they want and it works out positively for them, great, all for it.
I thought that was a pretty thoughtful response from Peter Malnati there in terms of what the reality is of tournaments trying to get some attention here. And I've always been a huge advocate of tournaments being given extreme latitude when it comes to sponsor invitations. It's really one of the few ways in which they can impact the narrative of the tournament that they're putting millions and millions of dollars into. In the context that we are in now with the fall events and all of these guys playing for their cards, it adds an extra wrinkle. So you're going to hear some griping about that. And if you are one of those players who's not in the field this week, there's a couple of potential reasons for that. We've seen some social media criticism this week on the criteria the Tour uses to allow guys to play this week, including going by where they are on the FedEx Cup points list from last year, while they're fighting for their livelihoods this year. Aaron Baddeley, who's barely outside the top 100 in the FedEx Cup points list, he can't qualify for the field this week. Dylan Wu, again, high up on that list, can't get into the field this week. But if you're a guy who thinks that Lexi Thompson being in the field is the difference between you having a tour card or not, play that. It's really just that simple. And to me, the big thing this week is what Peter Malnati just alluded to there, is how she performs isn't really important. How she reacts to how she performs is important, because she's got a poor advice system around her. And we see that constantly in press conferences with Lexi when she's had a bad day. We saw it most recently at the Solheim Cup. It's reluctance to answer questions about a difficult moment on the golf course. And that's par for the course. That's what you do as a professional golfer. And there are great times when you stand up there and everything's going well. There are times when it's not going well, and Lexi has shown a reluctance to face it when it's not going well. Yeah,
you know, you're right. I agree with you. She needs to handle it better. You could tell during that tough moment at the Solheim Cup, she hit the poor chip, and she kind of said that's not a great question. I don't have to answer that. And then Stacey Lewis, the captain, kind of came to her defense and said, what a bad question from Alex Maselli. I don't think it was a bad question. I think it was a tough question. And that's why I'm saying I hope Lexi embraces the spotlight that will be on her this week. Good, bad, or ugly. I hope she has fun with this week, because that's what you should do as a sponsor's exemption with a great opportunity to play inside the ropes on the PGA Tour. And the fact that we're talking about it this much earlier in the week proves that it was already a successful decision by the tournament organisers to have Lexi there. If she plays well, even better. Her presence there is a boon to this tournament one way or the other. Arguably the biggest story of this week. Still